When you're in the interview, just remember to keep it closer to you so we don't lose your voice, okay?
Great.
Okay. We'll get a sign from them when they're ready.
Okay.
So, have you been to SoccerX before, or is this
First time.
Okay.
Is there somewhere in particular I should be looking?
No, look at me. Yeah,
Right.
just it's like a sort of
Conversation.
chat. Yeah, nice and relaxed. Okay. So, Mark, welcome to SoccerX. Your first time, I understand.
It is my first time here. Really excited to be here. You know, the world of soccer is in one place, and I think that's really exciting. I've been contemplating coming for a number of years, and finally made it happen, and really excited that we did.
And what are you expecting from SoccerX?
You know, I think for us, it's an opportunity to connect with different stakeholders across the industry, right? There's owners here, there's coaches, technical directors, there's scouts, so people across all walks of soccer. We're a relatively new company, so I think for us it's about getting our brand name out there, getting some awareness, educating the public on what we do and the solutions that we offer that some of them didn't even know existed. And so I think for us it's been eye-opening, meeting a lot of people and seeing their response to what we do.
You say you're a new company, but the whole world of performance data, player performances, player data, is really still relatively new in football in particular, the last, 20 years, I suppose? So it's a growing market, isn't it?
For sure, yeah. I mean, you say it's relatively new in football, but in other sports it's even newer, right? We're a US-based company, so we do work with other sports. My background is in European football, so we originally designed the platform around football. You know, football has been using this technology for a lot longer than other sports. So, they do have some systems in place, but you're right. There's so much new data that's coming out. And I think for us, it's about how do you optimize all that data, right? You can spend a lot of time, a lot of money collecting all these data points, but end of the day, if you're not using it to change what you're doing on a daily basis, it's not impacting your program. So we're trying to streamline that process for teams, give them actionable insights in under a minute so they can apply the data and figure out the protocols instead of spending hours trying to find those insights themselves.
And of course, one of the big issues going on at the moment is the fear of players burning out, playing too much football. And I presume your data can show the coaches, the trainers, the physical fitness guys, exactly when a player is starting to be at risk of injury.
For sure, and I think that's the biggest thing, right? We're seeing in football, obviously monetizing the athletes, they're playing more and more games. For us, right, if you're a performance coach and you want to tell the manager, hey, this guy, we can't play him in this game, it's a hard conversation to have. And so what we're trying to do is give them objective data that's contextualized so that a manager understands it, right? The sports scientist, he can look at the data right away, he knows what it says. But for a manager to understand it and for the sports scientist to get his point across, it's going to take him a while to display that information in a way the manager understands. We automate that process and give him the tools so he can impact what the manager's doing and keep those players healthy.
Yeah, and ultimately that's good for the game, isn't it?
Well, it's great. You want to keep your players healthy, right? And obviously if you're saying, well, they can't play in this match, you might look at it as, well, we're taking the product off the field. But the idea is to keep them on the field longer, right? And for us, really, we want the players playing in the matches. So it's really more, how are we adjusting their training so that they can play in those games. So what we've done is, so much data is used to collect what's already happened. What we've done is we analyze your historical data points and use that to forecast what you're going to do. So a coach can come into our platform, put in their practice plan for the next day or for the entire week, and we will forecast what that player's loads will look like, so you know exactly where they are going into that game, and you can say ahead of time, instead of it being Friday and saying, hey coach, we cooked our key guy ahead of tomorrow's game, you can look at it on Monday and say, hey coach, we've got to adjust our practice plan this week so he'll be ready for that game.
Wow. Very, very advanced, as you say.
Well, trying to be, cutting edge. And that's kind of what it is, right? All these solutions, like you said, are relatively new. So how can we keep pushing the borders? How can we keep advancing things? You know, for us, a lot of people are, AI is the big rage right now, right? Everyone's talking about ChatGPT. We've integrated a ChatGPT for your data where you can converse with your data in language. The coach can come in, ask a question, hey, who are my 10 fastest players last week? And our ChatGPT will run through your database and give you those responses. Wow. And you can have a conversation with your data, even if you're not a coder or you're not well-versed in the data. We want to make it accessible to everyone in the club.
So it's user-friendly, which is really important in football, isn't it? Because, as you say, you're not getting people who are trained in coding or anything like that. They just need to get the answers.
Right, I mean, again, coaches are great at coaching athletes, but they're not data scientists. They didn't, right? Let me be your data nerd and let me give you the information so that you can make the right decisions based on what we're showing you.
And of course, you said you've got background in European football. coming back to the States and seeing the growth of it here, has it surprised you to see how quickly it seems to have taken off?
Well, so I grew up in France, so my background is in Europe, but I grew up in the States. I went to college here in the States and have lived here since. Again, European football is the sport that I played, and so that's kind of how we started. For us, soccer is growing huge in the U.S. Obviously, the Club World Cup coming next year, and then the World Cup the following year, which has been great. Leo Messi's here. That's created a bunch of buzz. But for us, it's really about football is the biggest sport in the world for a reason, right? It's the greatest sport there is. And so we've used that to try to help teams across the globe. We are starting to work with European teams as well, which has been exciting for us. Obviously, that's the birthplace of the game and where it's played at the highest level. But we also see the technology getting less and less expensive over time. And so lower level clubs now have access to this data. But again, they don't have the time or the expertise to really analyze it at a detailed level. And so we can provide that for them as well.
Brilliant. Mark, it's been a fascinating chat.
We
could go on all day, but there's plenty of soccer ecstasy still.
For sure. Appreciate your time, Jared. Great to meet you.
Brilliant.
Cheers.